The fourth political theory was created by Alexander Dugin, who is a very controversial Russian intellectual. He focuses mainly on philosophy and politics. He's known to be quite close to Mr. Vladimir Putin himself. The fourth political theory is not part of an official ideology. It is not well defined with a bunch of rules and laws yet. It's the philosophical groundwork for a new political ideology to build upon. Some of Martin Heidegger's concepts were incorporated into it. I'm going to try to explain what this is as quick as I can in this video so you guys can have a basic understanding. First, before we jump into the fourth political theory, what are the other political theories? The first one is liberalism, democracy, and the global free market. The second one is communism. The third one is National Socialism, fascism, and National Bolshevism. There's some debate on whether or not National Bolshevism is part of the third or fourth political theory. However, it seems like it fits in best with the third. So the fourth one differs from all of those other political theories. It is completely unique. It is beyond the left and the right, but also against the center on the pathetically outdated political compass. Now let's get into some of the major tenets of Dugin's political and philosophical theory. The fourth political theory supports the idea of the multipolar world, which is a world with multiple world powers instead of what we currently have, which is a unipolar world, ruled by the United States of America. The US attempts to artificially construct a global society based on liberal values such as democracy, free market, parliamentarianism, individualism, and capitalism. Dugin identifies this unipolar, modern, liberal globalism as a form of racism, since the United States is imposing these values that emerged locally from the development of a single culture on all of humanity as a universal law, attempting to whitewash the various unique races, cultures, nationalities of the world under the banner of the mighty green big capitalist dollar is absolutely genocidal. The fourth political theory does not support racism or racial supremacy. Dugin recognizes that the races are indeed different. He is a race realist. However, he doesn't look at the differences as our group is superior and your group is inferior. The fourth political theory supports true diversity on Earth. Instead of a world subdued by a one-world government, every different civilization should have the freedom to exist and express themselves with their unique cultures, religions, traditions, etc. The fourth political theory supports the idea that every human identity is acceptable and justified, except for that of the individual. Dugin wants the fourth political theory to be a theory of absolute freedom and liberation. Freedom as in human freedom. Freedom of culture, of society, of association, ethnocentrism, religion, basically the freedom of everything but the freedom of the individual. Dugin believes humans are anything except an individual. Individualism is a trait of the first political theory, liberalism, which must be defeated and destroyed, and the individual must be thrown off his pedestal. Man as an individual is a prison without walls. In order to obtain true freedom, we must go beyond the limits of the individual. Alexander Dugin has been called a fascist. Even Wikipedia has labeled him as one, and he doesn't like that very much, since the word fascist is often used as a boogeyman term by those who don't understand the ideology. Similar to fascism, he opposes globalism and advocates for nationalism. However, Dugin rejects the first three political theories, since he views them all as monotonic in nature. The fourth political theory is against the monotonic process, which is the idea of constant growth, constant accumulation, steady progress accompanied by one specific indicator. Dugin views it as unscientific, inadequate, immoral, and false. For example, when it comes to time and history, the monotonic view would be that we are always ascending, always improving, like evolution. However, the fourth political views history and time cyclically, that basically history and time has been based off of transitions of civilization highs and lows, repeating like a wheel in motion. Like the Hindu cycle of life, instead of always looking for growth and modernization, the fourth political theory suggests that we should instead aim for balance, adaptability, harmony, and everything that appeals to the monotonic process and its variations should be understood in a cyclical mode. This cyclical view separates the fourth political theory from the first three. Dugin supports a return to traditional religions but doesn't advocate for a purely theocratic state, doesn't require mandatory religious participation or belief. The fourth political political theory is all about freedom, and that includes freedom of religion. It supports reviving the spiritualism and mysticism that was lost by modernity and liberalism. Take a look at modern Christianity and paganism in their current form. They are only shells of their former selves. With the rejection of the monatomic process, we can appreciate and embrace the beliefs of ancient peoples instead of looking down on them as unadvanced. After all, ancient peoples produced great wonders such as the pyramids of Giza, which still baffle scientists today who are absolutely unsure of how these pyramids were built. How they transported such massive stone blocks from quarries 700 miles away, and how the stones were cut with such precision without modern power tools. Ancient peoples clearly were not as stupid and primitive as our monatomic liberal society portrays them as. The more ancient and mystical, the better. Dugan believes that we will reach the breaking point of nihilism, consumerism, and globalism, basically the latest stage of capitalism. And there will be an event that will wake a lot of lemmings up, and this will pull Russia away from the globalist agenda and into something like his fourth political theory. It will be very interesting to see how in the next few years, new thinkers and political groups use the fourth political theory to form a fresh new ideology. This is exactly what the world needs. Something new and fresh. Right now, the first political theory is dying of old age, the second political theory was crushed by capitalism, and the third political theory was killed off young. The fourth political theory will be the base for the revolutionary ideologies of the future. If you want to learn more, please check out Dugan's books, and also I highly recommend you listen to Cultured Thug's video, which is linked in the description below, if you want a more in-depth understanding. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to support my work, please check out my Etsy shop, the Stay Sane store. I have a lot of items listed, and they're not that expensive, so if you're interested, please buy something. But if you're not, that's alright. Oh my god, Dusty's meow is so cute. Anyways, stay sane, everybody.